Hi everyone, welcome to English Today Journal. And hey, don't forget to subscribe if you enjoy learning English in a simple and practical way.
The problem with bias is that it closes our minds. We stop questioning, we stop learning, and we only see what we want to see. Critical thinkers notice their own bias. They ask, am I being fair? Am I looking at all sides? Or am I protecting what I already believe? Noticing bias can feel uncomfortable, but it helps us understand the world more clearly and make better choices. The fourth barrier is mental laziness. Thinking deeply takes energy, and it is often easier to accept what someone says without asking questions. It takes effort to stop, reflect, check facts, and consider different perspectives. But critical thinking is about using that energy. It's about being willing to slow down, question, and explore. Even small steps, like checking a source before sharing an article or asking yourself, does this make sense? Are acts of critical thinking. Mental laziness can stop us from learning, growing, and making better decisions. By practicing even a little every day, we can strengthen our minds and avoid this trap. In real life, these barriers, emotions, self-doubt, bias, and mental laziness, are everywhere. They are part of being human. The difference is that critical thinkers notice them. They don't let these barriers control their decisions. They pause, reflect, and ask questions. They learn to see the bigger picture. They don't believe everything immediately. And over time, this practice makes their thinking stronger, more accurate, and more helpful in everyday life. It is often easier to follow the crowd. We see what everyone else believes and repeat it without thinking. It feels safe and simple. It takes less energy to just agree, share, or nod along. But when we do that, we give up our own power. We let other people decide what we believe. That is the opposite of critical thinking. True thinking for yourself means slowing down and choosing carefully. It means asking questions and not accepting everything immediately. So, how can we start building our critical thinking skills? The good news is that you don't need a special degree, a big textbook, or a complicated system. You can start today with small changes in how you think, speak, and make choices. These small steps add up and slowly turn into a strong habit of thinking clearly and wisely. 1. Pause before reacting. One of the simplest and most powerful steps is to pause. It sounds easy, but most of us don't do it. We react quickly, especially when we are emotional, angry, upset, excited, or worried. For example, someone might say something online or in person that we don't like, and we immediately respond without thinking. Or we see a shocking post, feel scared, and share it instantly. That fast reaction often causes mistakes. The tiny pause, just a few seconds, gives you space to ask yourself, do I really believe this? Is it true? Will acting on it help me or hurt me? This small pause gives you control. It is the difference between reacting blindly and responding wisely. 2. Ask better questions. Another way to strengthen your critical thinking is by asking questions. But not just any questions, good, curious, open questions. Instead of automatically accepting information, you can ask, where does this information come from? Is there proof? Could there be another explanation? Questions like these turn confusion into clarity. They help you see the situation more clearly. They also show other people that you are thinking carefully and not just agreeing without understanding. 3. Look for more than one perspective. Critical thinking grows when we consider different viewpoints. Don't just read one article or listen only to people who agree with you. Try to see the situation from other sides too. Ask yourself, how might someone else see this? What are their reasons? Am I missing something important? You don't have to change your mind, but you do need to understand other points of view. Seeing more than one side helps you make stronger, wiser decisions. 4. Check the evidence. Before you believe something, check the facts. Is it based on research, experience, or a reliable source? Or is it just someone's opinion or a catchy headline? Critical thinkers don't blindly accept what they read, hear, or see. They look for evidence. For example, before trying a new diet, buying a product, or believing a story online, they pause, investigate, and make sure it is true. Checking evidence protects you from mistakes, lies, and wasted energy. 5. Reflect on your own thoughts. Finally, critical thinkers also question themselves. Sometimes the ideas we believe about ourselves or the world are old habits or stories we repeat without checking. For example, if you tell yourself, "I'm not good at this," ask, "Is that really true? What evidence do I have? Does this belief help or hold me back?" By reflecting, you grow stronger, more confident, and more independent in your thinking. Small habits, repeated every day, build strong critical thinking. Pausing, asking questions, seeing multiple perspectives, checking evidence, and reflecting on your own thoughts all work together. You don't need to be perfect. You just need curiosity, honesty, and the willingness to learn. Over time, these habits help you make better choices, avoid mistakes, and respond wisely to the world around you. Critical thinking is a skill you can practice every day. It doesn't mean you have to question your mind all the time, but it does mean being willing to see things from different perspectives. Looking at more than one point of view helps you understand the bigger picture. It gives you a clearer sense of what is true and what is just an opinion or emotion. 1. Check your own bias. One of the most powerful habits in critical thinking is checking your own bias. Sometimes we only notice evidence that supports what we already believe. This is natural, but it can stop us from seeing the truth. Once in a while, challenge your own thoughts. Ask yourself, am I only noticing the evidence that agrees with me? What would it look like if the opposite were true? This isn't about doubting everything. It's about being honest with yourself and staying open to new information. 2. Slow down with information. We live in a world full of constant information, headlines, viral posts, social media updates, advertisements, and news stories. If we react too quickly, we can believe or share false information without realizing it. Critical thinking means taking a moment to pause and ask, who said this? Can I trust the source? Do I need more information before I act or share? Even taking just 1 minute to check can save you from mistakes and protect your reputation and energy. 3. Reflect each day. Reflection is another simple way to grow as a critical thinker. At the end of the day, take a minute to think about your choices and reactions. Ask yourself, did I act too quickly anywhere today? What decisions could I have thought about more carefully? Did I ask enough questions? These small reflections build self-awareness. And self-awareness is the heart of critical thinking. The more aware you are of your thinking, the better your decisions will be in the future. 4. Pause before responding. Your first reaction is not always your best reaction. When someone says something upsetting, or you see information that shocks or excites you, take a small pause. Breathe. Give your brain time to process. Ask yourself, is this how I really want to respond? Will my reaction help or hurt me? That short pause gives you control. It allows you to respond wisely instead of acting impulsively. Over time, pausing becomes a habit that helps you avoid mistakes and communicate more clearly. 5. Ask better questions. Another way to improve your critical thinking is by asking thoughtful questions. Some people avoid asking questions because they fear looking unsure or foolish. But asking good questions makes you wiser, not weaker. Instead of just asking, is this true? Ask, what evidence supports this? Instead of asking, do I agree? Ask, what are other ways to see this? Could there be another explanation? These kinds of questions make you more thoughtful, give you clarity, and help you see beyond the obvious. 6. Look for multiple perspectives. Critical thinkers don't rely on only one source or one opinion. They actively look for different viewpoints. Read more than one article. Listen to people who think differently from you. Try to understand why someone might believe something different. You don't have to change your opinion, but understanding other perspectives makes your thinking stronger and your decisions more informed. By practicing these small habits, pausing, reflecting, asking good questions, checking your bias, and seeing multiple perspectives, you slowly build a strong mind. You become someone who thinks clearly, makes smarter choices, and avoids mistakes. Critical thinking isn't about being perfect. It's about being curious, careful, and honest. And over time, these habits help you live a calmer, wiser, and more confident life. Critical thinking is about asking questions, thinking carefully, and looking at different sides of a situation. A key habit of critical thinkers is asking good questions. These aren't random questions. They are questions that help you understand more clearly. You might ask yourself, why do I believe this? What evidence is there? Why do I agree or disagree? You don't always have to ask out loud. Even asking yourself quietly is powerful. This habit of questioning keeps your mind active and curious. Consider the opposite. Here's a helpful but slightly challenging idea. To strengthen your thinking, try considering the opposite viewpoint. If you strongly believe in something, an idea, a rule, or a choice, ask yourself, what would someone who disagrees say? Why might they see it differently? You don't have to change your mind. Instead, this practice makes you more flexible, balanced, and fair. You learn to think beyond your first impression and avoid jumping to conclusions. Reflect on your choices. Every day, we make many decisions. Some are small, like what to eat, and some are big, like who to trust or what path to follow in life. But how often do we stop and think about our choices afterward? Reflection is simple but powerful. After making a choice, ask yourself, what went well? What could I have done better? Don't be hard on yourself. Just learn. Reflection helps you notice your habits and patterns, so your next decisions are smarter and more thoughtful. Listen more deeply. Critical thinking is not just about your own thoughts. It's also about how well you listen. Good thinkers are also good listeners. They pay attention and try to understand before responding. In your next conversation, focus on really listening. Don't just wait for your turn to speak. Ask yourself, what is this person really trying to say? Deep listening helps you understand others, build respect, and communicate better. These skills make you a stronger thinker and a better friend, colleague, or leader. A challenge for you. Try this simple exercise today. Find one area in your life where you could think more clearly. Maybe it's at work, where you often make quick decisions under pressure. Maybe it's in your relationships, where emotions sometimes guide your responses. Maybe it's online, where posts and news stories rush past too quickly. Pick one small area and practice critical thinking there. Pause before reacting. Ask thoughtful questions. Consider other perspectives. Reflect on your choices. Listen carefully. Even small habits like these, repeated every day, make a big difference over time. You don't have to be perfect. Critical thinking isn't about knowing everything or always being right. It's about being curious, careful, and open-minded. It's about learning to pause, think, and act with purpose. And when you practice these habits regularly, you will notice something amazing. Your mind becomes clearer, your decisions become wiser, and your relationships and experiences improve. Critical thinking is a skill anyone can develop. It starts with small steps, pausing, asking good questions, reflecting, and listening deeply. The more you practice, the stronger your mind becomes. And the stronger your mind, the better you navigate life, handle challenges, and grow as a person. Critical thinking grows one habit at a time. You don't have to change everything at once. Pick one small area in your life where you can practice it. Maybe it's how you react when emotions take over. Or maybe it's online, where it's easy to believe the first thing you see. Start small, practice one habit, and slowly your thinking will become stronger. Here's a story from my own life that taught me a lot about critical thinking. A few years ago, I was offered a new job. On paper, it looked perfect. The salary was higher than anything I had earned